Welcome! You're watching Weazel News. You do the crime, we film the whole time. This is a special live broadcast with your favorite reporter, Chester Bedingfield.
Hello, and it is good to be back, Los Santos. Chester Bedingfield returning after a refreshing holiday to give you the news you need. Tonight we have amazing coverage of a gang-related shootout that took place all over the metro area. Two distinct groups were engaged in a heavy gun battle as multiple police agencies responded to calls about gunfire near the Perro freeway. Myself and Weazel reporter Jesse Cooper responded to the dangerous area for first-hand footage. Let's take a look.
Multiple men in black suits are seen on the highway exchanging gunfire with a rival gang as police scramble to contain the scene. You can see as police respond from multiple departments to assist as gangs use high-powered rifles to shoot from long distances. Here you can see the second gang on the ground level using their vehicles for cover. Unfortunately, as the gang members regroup, they are able to escape in their cars through the city canal, and they lead police on multiple high-speed pursuits throughout Los Santos.
Unfortunately, due to where our team was covering the shootout, we were unable to catch up to the ongoing pursuit. Our team then headed to Pillbox Hospital where a very active police presence was found after the initial violence. Weasel's Jesse Cooper was able to get a quick word from a police officer.
What I can tell you is that it appeared to be shots fired from gangs to gangs, and it eventually led to multiple chases, and unfortunately shots fired at officers. We have gotten a few officers being fired upon, and we are catching them criminals, making sure that they don't get away. We won't allow this in our city. We will not allow shooting between cops and criminals, and we won't allow shooting between criminals and criminals. We're here to stop them, and we don't want anything more. We want peace here in Los Santos and Blaine County. Let's bring that to a part of us. Let's bring truth. Let's bring peace. Let's bring unity.
Wise words. Can you tell anything about which gangs were involved in the shootout?
Unfortunately, that as it is under investigation at this time.
Okay, thank you very much.
I will tell you it's two big prominent gangs, but we can't confirm for sure who they are. But they're two big prominent gangs.
Weazel News reporting live from Pillbox Hill. We will come back to this story when we know more.
Shortly after the interview, multiple reports to Weazel of shots fired at Peaceful Street, ironically. As myself and Jesse Cooper both responded to the scene, we were immediately greeted with stray bullets, 3 of which struck the Weazel vehicle. Luckily, we were unharmed and took immediate cover, risking our lives to bring you the following footage. Let's take a look.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, oh shit, I think we're chasing some of the people now. Oh, yep, this is a shootout. We'll call you back. Okay, we'll call him back. Oh shit.
As we arrive on scene, we quickly take cover behind a bush which can be considered the opposite of bulletproof. A white 2-door sports car is seen escaping in reverse at a high rate of speed, but would then be chased by a police cruiser close behind. Unfortunately, it does appear that an officer has fallen nearby on the sidewalk with an unknown status. Overall, the officers do come out on top as the rest of the suspects on foot are either arrested or brought to the hospital.
As you can see, it was quite the chaotic scene of police, criminals, bullets, and mangled getaway cars. In order to continue a safer coverage of the violent episode, we took to the skies in Sky 69, our Weazel chopper.
Hey.
Hey. Chester Bedingfield reporting from high above Los Santos. As you can see from our live feed, we have our first chase related to the earlier shootouts. Looks like a pretty beat up gray in color elegy with some missing body panels, with at least a few units in hot pursuit. We are right here around Forum Drive. Looks like the suspect is going to attempt to escape on foot here.
Oh, looks like the police are going to shoot on sight. Viewer discretion is advised. Again, we are not aware of what happened immediately before we got to this chase, and looks like they got him there. It's likely the suspect posed a grave danger to police and citizens before this moment, which is why police may have chose to shoot on sight. Alright, we're on our second chase in just a few moments. Looks like at this time we have multiple suspects being chased by an interceptor unit, and oh, would you look at that, a successful pit maneuver. Oh my god, double pit maneuver. Although I think that the second car may not have been a police deputy. Now, no doubt about it, due to the number of suspects, this is absolutely going to be hard for the deputy to determine which suspects to chase. Obviously, we will continue up the highway to follow the officer as he attempts to gain some ground on these suspects that may have been involved in some of the deadly shootings earlier today. Now, it does look like, unfortunately, these high-performance cars are going to gain some ground on our chopper in a straight line using the highway, which is a fairly decent tactic if they are trying to lose the eye in the sky. Unfortunately, we're coming up on some tall trees here. We're going to have to cut it here. Back to you guys in the studio. Alright, what a wild night so far. At this moment, we do have the Weazel team preparing for a press conference at Mission Row PD. Obviously, today's events have the city buzzing with rumors on social media. We're going straight to the source to see what we can find as to what may be the cause to all this chaos this evening. Let's tune in.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everybody, for coming. As you all know, today we had an incident happen in Los Santos. I cannot give all the details away, but I can let you know that officers responded to a call for shots fired. We saw multiple individuals involved in this shooting. It broke apart and turned into multiple chases that went throughout the city that ultimately ended up with a shootout between suspects and police officers. Those suspects obviously will be processed and tried with their due process, as all criminals or anybody who commits a crime in the city is innocent until proven guilty in the court of law or by their own self-admission. The situation is currently been handled. Everything is cleared up now. All scenes are now open again, and the streets are operating as normal. All suspects are currently either awaiting trial or serving their time at the penitentiary. Yes. So at this time, I'm going to turn this over to my colleague here, Trooper Deckard. Trooper Deckard, if you wish to add anything before we start answering questions.
Yes, thank you. So the only thing I would add on to Chad's statement that this did at least appear to be gang-related violence and not random violence. So normal citizens should have nothing to fear. All suspects did appear to be gang-related.
What sort of training do you guys have when it comes to a shootout? Is there procedures that you guys have to go to keep yourselves safe?
Absolutely. Our training is quite rigorous, my friend. Obviously, what we do here can be dangerous, and we don't want any of our officers injured, or civilians for that matter. So everything from, firearm accuracy is trained to just when we actually respond with firearms.
Do you know anything about the motivation behind the shootout?
That's part of an ongoing investigation, sir. No
Okay,
comment at this time.
Do you guys have a message that you'd like to put out to the city when it comes to these sorts of things happening? Is there something you would like the criminal side of the city to know?
The criminal side of the city, well, we obviously don't want there to be a criminal side of the city, but, when police arrive on scene, we're there to make sure everyone is safe at the end of the day, criminals included. They still do have rights, so just leave it at that, I suppose.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Quick question, Chester Bedingfield, Weazel News. After today's incident, what kind of lessons have you guys learned to better deal with this incident in the future?
Well, I mean, this is something we've dealt with multiple times, unfortunately, gang violence, but, there's always takeaways and things to improve upon. But thankfully, no officers were seriously injured, and at the end of the day, that's, what we strive for. And no civilians, for that matter.
Last follow-up question as well. Does it concern you the amount of firepower that some of these organized criminals are able to obtain in the city?
Yes, it's always concerning when there's large rifles out on the street, but you know that's what we're here to do. We're here to try to keep those things off the street. So it's a good win to get multiple large rifles off the street.
All right, thank you, sir. No further questions. Well, that is all the time we have for you in tonight's report of your favorite news channel. This is Chester Bedingfield, Weazel News signing off. Have a better night and stay safe out there, Los Santos.